Is there something even deeper? Vijnanam, our cognition, our intelligence, our phenomenal consciousness. It's what is deeper than this, deeper than the mind, and of course, deeper than our corporeality, deeper than our pranic system, the breath, or the vital energies. Is there further something deeper beneath our apparent consciousness, our object-directed consciousness? Why are we conscious? Why do we want to know something in the world? Because they excite us. Ananda, the fundamental drive of the living beings, not just of humanity, the fundamental drive of the living beings is the drive for the bliss, drive of bliss, of joy, of orgasm, of enjoyment in every possible form, because the very text discusses different layers of bliss in the earlier chapter, that it is the extent to which humans can experience bliss, and beyond that, the higher beings in the higher planes can experience bliss. So it is not in rejection to, it's not in contradistinction to those blissful modes of our being that we go to the natural state of bliss. Just like to quest consciousness in negation of the body is meaningless because it is never to be found. The same way, the search for the bliss in total negation of our everyday apparent joyous modes of being is meaningless. A journey without the road, a journey without the goal, a journey without knowing or without accepting the very source, the very origins of why we even want to be happy. This is the reality that we are wired of. So what comes down in the highest of the realization, we go to the most basic principle. Annam na nindyat, annam bahukurvita. One should not abuse food. One should produce more food. Why? Prano va annam shariram annadam. Prane shariram pratishtitam, shariram prane pratishtitam. So how? The body is the food for the breath, and the breath is the food for the body. How we survive and how our survival is the most basic thing for us to realize who we are. The very course of realization is annavan annado bhavati. So to have plentiful food. The days are gone, the civilizations where people would have time to eat as a family, sit in a table, different courses of meal. We have these frozen food and microwave. because we have turned ourselves into engines. My engine is low. I'm running low with fuel. My tank is empty. I need to I need to fill myself with my gas running low. We are sometimes our own cars or other machines. My battery running low. This is just a symptomatic of the real threat that we are facing today. In this transhuman world, rather than recognizing everything in the world as divine, in the sense as the very extension of the self and the bliss, we are reducing everything to mechanical reality. We are not embracing our inner being. We are rejecting our inner being to such extent that we are turning ourselves into cyborgs. It is easier today for us to accept our own nature as pure chemicals rather than to accept deeper truth. These pure chemicals are preserving so pristine our experiences, our love, our compassion for other human beings, our love for their life, our extension of compassion even for the heinous of the people who care nothing for their lives. Why? In the conversation, the chapter ends with ahamannam, ahamannam, ahamannam. Ahamannada, ahamannada, ahamannada. I am food, I am food, I am food. I am the enjoyer of the food. I am the enjoyer of the food. I am the enjoyer of the food. I am the matter. I am the mind. I am the bliss that weaves the matter and the mind. I am the most basic fabric of the reality that constitutes me and you and the other, the animate and the inanimate. We live in this reality. Our constitution of our everyday reality is such that everything has the potential to reveal our true nature, because the things that are outside are not really outside. It's just the projection of our neural structures to preserve this our bodily being. We become, for the first time, the beings that transcend mere bodily presence, not by denying it. This is the wrong course of civilization. If we do not correct it, you may be interested in closing eyes and listening to some spiritual discourse for your pleasure, for your satisfaction. What drives me is what I see as an imminent extension of what constitutes us as the human. Because what makes us human, the core of our being, is compassion, is love. We are not made by the nature to steal food from hungry people. We are not made by nature to steal medicine from the poor people. This is not our nature. This is not who we are. This is not what makes us a human. We are denying our inner nature to such extent that we have turned ourselves unnatural. We have transformed ourselves into machines. we have abandoned our humanity. This spiritual teaching is for us to retrieve our course of real human civilization for the future of the greater humanity, not for one individual or for one race or for one faith, but for our own collective of the humanity. The chapter ends with Havu, just pure ecstasy, because it is this pure ecstasy that constitutes our being. Thank you so much.